today's video is going to be a product review. I'm going to be reviewing all three of the Urban Decay Naked Palettes. So these are the three palettes that I'm talking about, the original Naked, the Naked 2 and the Naked 3. So I've had all of these palettes for a while now. I feel like I can give you guys an objective opinion. I can tell you honestly which ones I reach for the most, which ones I use the most, which ones I don't really get all that much use out of, and which ones I think you definitely need to invest in. I just want to say straight off the bat that I love Urban Decay. I love all of these palettes and I do use all of them. The quality of the eyeshadows is amazing. The pigmentation is so great. They're not chalky, they just glide on, they blend out beautifully, and they have an amazing selection of colours in all of the palettes. So I actually bought the Naked 2 palette first. I had looked at reviews and swatches online between the two, and I sort of decided that the Naked 2 would probably suit my complexion the best, and I would probably get the most use out of this one. So we'll just start off with the original Naked palette. This is what the packaging looks like. It's got this sort of velvety finish to it, which I'm not a big fan of. I really much prefer the new packaging, I have to say. I don't feel like this one is as secure or as sturdy, and I probably wouldn't feel as comfortable traveling with this, only because I feel like the shadows could get damaged. You can see that the writing is coming off as well, so it's honestly not my favourite packaging. All of the palettes also come with a little sample size of something and a brush as well. I think this one came with the what was it, the eyeshadow primer maybe, the primer potion. The Naked 2 came with a lip gloss, and the Naked 3 came with some more eye primer samples, I believe, but I'm not too sure. So this is what the palette looks like inside. So it has a mirror here, but the new packaging has a much bigger mirror, which I prefer, but this one is still pretty good. And then this here is what all of these shadows look like. I really love this palette. It's definitely more on the warm toned, I would say. The Naked 2 is a little bit cooler, but this one has much warmer shades. The shades that I probably wear the most would have to be this one here called Naked. That's a beautiful transition color, which I use pretty much every single day. And I also love the shade Buck. That's a really great crease color. So those two are probably my favorites out of this palette. And then the other ones that I probably use the most would have to be Half Baked and Smog. The only shadow that is repeated in this palette and in the Naked 2 is the shade Half Baked. But yeah, pretty much all of these shades here I really love. Again, I will have swatches and everything on my blog, so if you want to see everything up close, then just click on the link down below. But these are probably the ones I use the most. I don't get much use out of these shades down here, to be honest. I don't particularly like greys and gunmetal colours on myself personally. All in all, I really do love this palette. It's probably the one I reach for the most, only because I feel like it's got great crease colours. I can do a complete look using just this palette. And I just think that the selection of colours, because they're very warm toned, they suit my complexion the best. So this just seems to be the one that I reach for the most. So now on to the Naked 2 palette. This one has different packaging, as you can see. It's got like a hard tin case, but again, it's got a big mirror up the top, which I love. So when you're traveling, you don't need to carry an extra mirror, which is great. But this is what this palette looks like up close. Again, I absolutely love this palette, and there are shades in here that I use and then shades that I don't use. So the ones that I get the most use out of would probably have to be Foxy. Again, I do love Half Baked. It's just a really great golden color. Booty Call is a really nice highlight for like the inner corner. Chopper is probably my favorite shade in this palette. I'll give you a little swatch so you can see just on camera. Like, look at how pigmented and how gorgeous that is. And then this one here is what Half Baked looks like. So you can see how amazingly pigmented they are. They just go on so beautifully. Again, I'll have in-depth swatches on my blog, so have a look if you want to check out all of the colors. I love the shade Tease. That's a really great crease color. Again, I don't really get much use out of the gunmetal colors, and this one here is a very shimmery silver color. I'm not sure if you can really pick that up on camera, but in person it's very silver. But my favorite thing about this palette would probably have to be the matte black eyeshadow here at the end called Blackout. I absolutely love that shade. It is so pigmented. It is so black, oh my god, and that is just one shade that I always reach for. Whenever I'm doing a smoky eye and I need a really great black, this is always the one that I come back to. I would have to say, if I was tossing up between the original Naked and the Naked 2, having used them both now and had them for a while, I would definitely say the original Naked palette is the one that I use the most, and this is the one I reach for. Even though I'm not a fan of the packaging, and even though you know, I love certain colors in this palette, this is probably the one that I use the most. So that's how I feel about the Naked and the Naked 2. Now onto the Naked 3 palette. So this is what the Naked 3 palette looks like. It's got that similar casing as the Naked 2. So as you can see, all of the shades are very blush toned, very pinky, and I think this is what sets the palette apart from the other twos, because it's very, very different, and when you see them side by side you do realize how different they are. So I thought I was going to absolutely love this palette, and I really do love some of the colors, but it's probably the palette that I use the least, and I'll tell you why. I feel like some of these shades in here, in particular this shade here called Dust, Burnout, and also, is it Buzz? I think that one's Buzz. Yeah, those ones are extremely pink. When you actually swatch them out, I'll see if I can show you guys. They are super, super pink, and I feel like they don't suit my complexion at all. Whenever I wear them, I look really, really sick, or I have to think really hard about how I'm going to wear these eyeshadows. I really need to plan my look in advance. It's not something that I can just throw on. The shades in here that I absolutely love would definitely have to be the crease colors. I love the crease colors. Limit and Nuna are my favorite. They're probably my favorite crease colors out of all of the palettes. I love those ones. I also really love this shade here called Trick. Now Trick is probably the one that doesn't transfer as well. I don't know if you can tell, but it's not as pigmented as the others. Like, I was really rubbing my finger in then, and I just don't feel like the formula is as good as some of the other eyeshadows in this palette. I particularly like these shadows down here. As you can see, they're a little bit more warm toned though. These ones are very cool, they're very pink, whereas these ones down here are very warm, much similar to the Naked palette. I definitely have to say that if you're blonde, or if you're quite fair, or you have lighter features than me, this will be amazing for you. I absolutely love the palette, I love the shadows in here, but for whatever reason, whenever I try to wear them, I don't feel like they look as flattering as some of the other shadows. So if you are looking to invest in one of these palettes, the one that I would definitely recommend to you would have to be the first Naked palette. I say this because I think this one is the most universally flattering. It has shades in here that will suit everybody, no matter what your skin color is, what hair color or eye color. This will be the palette that suits majority of skin tones. I feel like you probably only need one or the other, either the Naked or the Naked 2, because these ones are very, very similar. But again, it's just up to you guys, whichever one you think suits your complexion the best, whichever one has eyeshadows that you're going to use. And then the Naked 3 is just a really nice supplement to those ones. If you like experimenting with makeup and having different eyeshadows, this one has really beautiful shades that are completely different to the other two palettes. And especially if you are of a fairer skin tone, like I said, definitely give the Naked 3 a go. So anyways guys, I really hope you did enjoy this video. If you found it helpful, or if you'd like me to do more product reviews, then please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you do own these palettes, if you own one of them or all of them, please let me know what you think of it down below and which one is your favorite. I'd really, really like to know. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!